We're back in our demo site, and this tutorial can scare some people off to start with, whilst for others you might find this a little bit restrictive. The idea of this guide is to show you how to embed content blocks into Squarespace. This allows more advanced functionality, like bringing in a third-party video where we may not have the option to add a direct URL. In the example I'm going to use today, this video on Vimeo, it does have the option to share and just copy the URL by a copied link here. But we're going to do it the slightly more convoluted way to demo how the embed code option works. However, it does allow us to do more advanced things. And I'll show you how we can add some styles, as in this example here, into our page. But first things first, let's jump back to our demo site on Squarespace and find a place for our new video. And I think I'm going to use this section here. So I'm going to remove the contact form, and a contact form is another good example of third-party information that you want to embed into your site. So for example, if you didn't want the Squarespace form tool, which is become far more advanced, the one gripe I used to have with it was there was no option to add a file upload, but now that's in place. That makes the form all the more useful for a number of projects I work on. But I'm going to remove that form. Another example of an embed could be a booking form that links to a third-party event or booking system that your business runs with. So there's lots of potential applications for it. And the good news is when it comes to the Squarespace end of it, it's all pretty straightforward. And most third-party tools will give you a step-by-step guide to how to copy the snippet of code from the third-party site and then bring it in via adding a new block here. And we're going to go down to this embed option. Before we jump any further, I'll just explain the difference between embed and code. Code used to be a premium option. I'm not sure, does it say anything now? No, it doesn't say that it's a premium option, which would mean it would need to be on the business plan or up. Whilst embed was always the option available on the lowest plan. So you can either embed via a link. If the third-party software provides you a link to embed, you can use that. But most of the time, I will use code snippet. And here we can embed data. It asks us to add the code. So we're going to hop back over to Canva now, and we're just going to press this button to copy the embed code. Alternatively, we can highlight it here and copy it from there. This will be designed to be fluid, but you'll find with some iframes or embed options, we can see the iframe tag here, will actually have their own sizes, but as things have moved on in the past few years, that's become better. So we can set custom dimensions if you want to make it rigid, and there's a little pop-up here. This never used to be the case, but embed code is now responsive by default, meaning it will respond to mobile devices, tablets, monitors, laptop screens, all the way up to TVs or large screen formats, digital signage, etc. That means that the width or the height, and usually both because it will constrain it, will adjust to your requirements. We don't want to set custom dimensions in this case. We want it to be responsive. And of course, these settings are all specific to Vimeo. We're going to leave them as default and copy the embed code. Now hop back over to our Squarespace site, and it's as simple as pressing Ctrl or Command and V, depending on whether you're using a PC or a Mac. We can see this block here. Don't need to worry about that. We've got the preview option there, and we can also see the hello world below as well. That should disappear. Oh no, that's the code block I added in previously. I could add the same effect in, he says, into the code block. And we've got the option then to preview both in safe mode. So this block here will only appear in admin, and it won't appear once we go to the live website. So if we exit this up now, and we can have a look at the two different options, we've got our embed option and a code block, both in this case doing exactly the same thing. However, the code block allows you to do more advanced things, and the embed option is more a paint by numbers approach to adding our content into the site. So I'm going to remove the code block in this instance, and we can see our embed data there, we can go through and add some additional styling. So let's put in border. Make it a solid border, and we're going to go with white. So if you haven't done any CSS custom code, you don't need to do this. But alternatively, this is just a demo how we can use custom code, and we can see the white border going around it now to do something a bit different. If we preview our new site, we can see our video is now in place. I don't think I've recorded the video quite right because we see that black bar at the top. That's going to annoy me. But because we're not going to be using this video for any commercial purposes, especially with the border around it, that's absolutely fine. You're a small bit so now and you're struggling under the weight. Video plays. We've got a full screen option that we can jump out of. And we've got a picture-in-picture, which would allow it to play whilst we're viewing the rest of the site. These, of course, are all features within Vimeo directly. And we've got the option then to adjust the quality accordingly. Or view a transcript. So those are all features within Vimeo, but it doesn't matter what you're embedding in. If there is an embed option, or sometimes it'll refer to it as an iframe, you can bring this into any section of any page on your Squarespace website. And that includes a footer section, so it would appear on every single page, which is especially useful for things like maps. Hope you found this useful. There's a free community that I'm running over on SKOOL, all about website builders, where I've brought all of these tutorials into free online course sections. And of course, you can engage with other users using Squarespace in particular. I'll leave a link in the description. It would be great to see you over there. Completely free, no strings attached. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Cheers.